Valentine's Day is celebrated February 14, when millions of people bring flowers, chocolates and tender love notes to their sweethearts. But the holiday's origins predate the birth of Saint Valentine himself and are tied up in animal sacrifice and naked revelry. Read on for Valentine's Day's unique pagan roots, its rise as a Christian holiday and the emergence of now familiar V-Day traditions. To help you strategize for your Valentine's Day, here's some suggestions for the best Valentine's Day chocolates, gift ideas that won't break the bank and a guide to being single on Valentine's Day. The origins of Valentine's Day. The seeds of the holiday we know as Valentine's Day were planted in Lupercalia, an ancient Roman festival honoring Juno, the Roman goddess of marriage. Held on February 15, Lupercalia also honored the Capitoline wolf, a mythic creature who supposedly suckled Romulus and Remus, Rome's twin founders, when they were abandoned as infants. The Latin word for wolf is lupus. Dating back at least to the 6th century BC, Lupercalia was a sexually charged and violent rite, involving the sacrifice of dogs and male goats as a sign of virility. Priests known as Luperci had their foreheads anointed with the blood from the sacrificial knife, and then were wiped clean with wool soaked in milk. The Luperci would later cut strips of goat hide and run naked through the city, whipping nearby women with the bloody hide. Many women of rank also purposely get in their way and, like children at school, present their hands to be struck, Plutarch wrote in his Life of Caesar. The belief is that the pregnant will thus be helped in delivery and the barren to pregnancy. Also during Lupercalia, men would choose a woman's name from a jar and escort her to the festival. In some cases, the couple would form a romantic bond. The rite continued for centuries, even after the ascension of Christianity in Rome, with Pope Hilarius reportedly demanding Emperor Anthemius abolish it in 467 AD. Some 30 years later, Pope Gelasius tried to replace the pagan rite by instituting the feast of Saint Valentine on February 14. There are several stories involving Christians named Valentine who were executed by the Roman Emperor Claudius II, but the most famous was a 3rd-century martyr imprisoned for secretly marrying Christian couples and helping persecuted believers. This Valentine was reportedly executed on February 14, 289 AD. In one early telling, the future saint restored sight to his jailer's blind daughter. Later, the legend grew to include a letter he gave the girl before his execution, reportedly signed, "Your Valentine." Read on. The best Valentine's Day chocolate bars. The evolution of Valentine's Day. The elements of marriage, love and romance already associated with Lupercalia made it a good fit for a Saint Valentine feast day. In medieval Europe, people believed birds chose their mates on February 14. In his book Parliament of Fowls, Chaucer imagined the goddess Nature paired off all the birds on Saint Valentine's Day. By the 15th century, the day became associated with the code of courtly love that came into vogue in Europe. Read more. Build-A-Bear launches, After Dark, series of naughty teddy bears for Valentine's Day in 1400. King Charles VI of France established the Charter of the Court of Love, as a distraction from a particularly nasty bout of plague, according to a post on the University of Oxford website. Members would meet for dinner in Paris on February 14. Male guests were expected to perform an original love song, which would be judged by a panel of young women. The now familiar traditions of flowers, candy and amorous notes, known as Valentines, emerged in the 1600s. Valentine's Day really took off in the U.S. during the Civil War, when soldiers had an excuse to send a letter or gift to their sweetheart back home. It was in the late 1800s that Valentine's Day became more commercialized, with the advent of pre-printed Valentine's messages and, in 1868, the first box of chocolates shaped like a heart was sold by British chocolatier Cadbury. The Valentine's Day heart. You don't have to be a cardiologist to know that the heart shape that's everywhere on Valentine's Day bears little resemblance to the actual organ pumping blood through your body. The heart has been viewed as the source of human love and emotion since antiquity. But the ancients had little understanding of its actual appearance. Well into the Middle Ages, the heart was represented as looking like a pine cone, based on a description by 2nd-century Greek physician Galen. Medieval artwork would often depict a young man offering his cone heart to a maiden. The shape we associate today with a Valentine's heart emerged in the 14th century. An illustration from poet Francesco da Barberino's Precepts on Love, Documenti d'Amore, features Cupid astride a horse whose neck is draped with the familiar symbol. A symmetrical heart with a cleft in the middle also appeared in the French manuscript The Romance of Alexander from about 1340. It shows a woman receiving the love token from a suitor, who points to his chest to indicate its source. In an illustration from Petit Livre d'Amour, a collection of love poems written by Pierre Sala in 1500, the author is shown dropping his heart into a flower for his mistress. By the 1800s, mass-produced Valentine's Day cards made the heart symbol ubiquitous. The Sacred Heart of Jesus has been part of Christian iconography for centuries, often depicted as flaming and pierced by a lance or encircled with a crown of thorns. In the 1530s, Christian reformer Martin Luther made a red heart within a white rose his personal seal. Countries where Valentine's Day is banned. While Valentine's Day is widely popular, it is by no means universally celebrated. In 2008, Saudi Arabia's Commission for the Promotion of Virtue and the Prevention of Vice issued a fatwa prohibiting shops from selling red roses, stuffed teddy bears, heart necklaces or other romantic paraphernalia on February 14. The edict was routinely enforced by religious police until 2019, Bloomberg reported. Shops and restaurants in Iran are similarly prohibited from promoting the romantic holiday, and bans on Valentine's Day are also enforced to varying degrees in Malaysia, where it's been linked to moral decay, abortion, alcoholism and fraud. In 2017, Pakistan's High Court ruled the holiday was against Islamic teachings and barred the media from airing promotions of the celebration on television. In 2016, Pakistani President Mamnoon Hussain declared that Valentine's Day has no connection with our culture and should be avoided. A year later, the Islamabad High Court barred the media from airing promotions of Valentine's Day on television. Hindu extremists in India have assaulted women and couples on Valentine's Day for purportedly embracing a morally bankrupt tradition imported from the West. In 2012, authorities in Uzbekistan discouraged citizens from celebrating Valentine's Day, and instead promoted appreciation of Babur, a 15th-century descendant of Genghis Khan who founded the Mughal Empire. Babur's birthday coincidentally falls on Feb.